Hi, welcome to the Shelley Studio, and today I am working on the challenge for our mixed media moods. I did create this in July, or June. I know it's July when you're seeing this, but I am out of town for most of the month and decided to get a whole bunch of stuff ready and put it out there. And I will try to comment, but I will be out of my country. I live in the United States and traveling abroad for a little while, so I'll try, like I said, I'll try to reply to comments, but be patient. I will get to them eventually. So with this one, I was just kind of inspired by the blue color. I really love that blue color and wanted to use it. I also liked the flowers, and so I want to use them as well. This is actually Payne's Gray, and I'm just kind of using it to show the texture of the texture paste that I have put down. And I did white, and then the texture paste, and then the Payne's Gray, and then wiped back, and I decided it was too white, so I'm going to pull out some Titan Buff that I recently purchased. I haven't owned any of this color prior, but I was at a store that actually had it, so I grabbed it and I put it down, and yeah, I wasn't liking the off-white color either, so I do go back and forth with this project, and ends up being a buildup of layers, and most of it you probably won't see in the end, so that's kind of how these have worked for me, these mixed media moods. I just have been using these prompts to create projects like I've never done before, with lots of texture and different substances. Substances is a weird word. Well, like fibers and tree branches and stuff like that. Now I really need to name these colors as I go along, because I was trying to find the bottle of blue paint that this came out of, and I can't find it. I know it's Craft Smart, but I'm just loving this blue. I don't think it's ultramarine. I can't find the bottle. So yeah. So I'm just adding, it's starting to look kind of like a beach, but that is not what my plan was. So I do kind of cover that up later. I just keep adding layers of color. And I'm wiping it back a little bit so you can get the lighter. I love the look of the texture paste and the color down in the grooves. I really like that effect. So here I pulled out some white paint because I really wasn't a fan of the Titan Buff on here. And so and you can really see the difference once I start putting the white on there, how kind of dull the other was. And this just kind of brightens it back up again. And I end up using a lot of white elements in this, really. So that looks good. And you can tell I'm painting on cardboard. You can see the corrugation on there. But I have this whole stack of cardboard this size, and like, I've got to use it. Okay, so I own a Brothers Scan and Cut, and I'd never really used it before, and so I cut out that pattern just with cardstock. It really doesn't work very well as a texture paste stencil, but I worked my way through it anyway. It gets very smeary after the first one. It's just kind of a mess, but most of that gets hidden too. but it was a fun thing to attempt anyway. So yeah, after I do this, I decide I really like that pattern, but I want it to look good, not like these have turned out. So I draw the pattern again and scan it into my Brother Scan & Cut and cut a bunch of them. And like I said, this is a new Scan & Cut. I don't know if I had the blade too deep or if it was just too much detail for it. I think I wore out the blade already. I'm gonna go buy me a new blade. Okay, so this is just some muslin. I've wanted to dye some fabric for a while using what water I have like sitting at my desk. So it's a spray bottle. And we're just going to add some more of that blue paint to this muslin and just color it up. And then we will add it to our page. This is kind of a long step, but it was sure fun to do. Fun to watch the colors, and I love the streakiness, though it doesn't look very streaky in the end. I do have a jar of water at my desk, but I didn't use it originally because it's been cleaning paintbrushes and it's not exactly clear. But then I give up and decide we'll just use it. Because the color isn't moving on those dry areas. And I want it completely covered in the blue. So it doesn't have to be evenly covered, just blue. If I find that paint name, I will put it in the description box below. But I think it's such a pretty blue. And oh yes, it was very wet, so I put some paper underneath here. And those pieces of paper, they're gonna go on a collage or something, because look at them. Isn't that pretty? So now that it's dry, I decided I needed some brown or yellowish element because from the mood board there was some yellows in there. This isn't exactly yellow, but it's kind of a contrast. And this was an image from Graphic Stock from back when I did a sponsored video for them. I had printed this out as a possibility. And we're just going to use it on here for some background. See what I told you, most of that's going to be covered up? Yeah. I was thinking I would just darken the edges, but that white's just too hard. So, tear off the white and just use the walnut and the distress ink. Darken it all the way around. Do the same for both. I just like that distressed, sort of darkened edge look. Well, I really like this image from Graphic Stock with the distressed music paper. Okay, so I've got that on there, and then the fabric I decide to fray. I struggle with it because it doesn't want to fray. I did tear it down to size, so I have a lot of extra. Who knows where that'll end up. And I want strings hanging out, so I don't show you the whole struggle through that, but I get it so there's enough strings hanging out. There was also an image on that mood board that was a typewriter. It was a vintage typewriter, and this doesn't exactly qualify, but I decided I wanted to add the element of the lettering just because of that typewriter. And so this is just a cheap block of stamped letters that I've taped together with washi tape. Put a little bit of them across the bottom where they might be seen and on the sides. There we go. And now we're going to glue down our music paper. And this is the heavy gel medium, which is even heavier because it's near the end and it's getting pretty dry. I wasn't worried about the color difference where it overlaps because there's going to be more layers, so I figured it would be alright. So then I decided we're going to put the fabric on here. It doesn't look very roughed up and distressed, so I decided I'd give it kind of a fold or a wrinkle to make it look better. And we're just going to use that same gel medium and just glue it on. I wasn't worried about getting the ends all the way glued down. As long as it stayed in place, for the most part, I was good with that. So I've got that on there. I have streamers stuck to my fingers. Try to stick them on the paper. Stick down. There we go. Well, I still felt like it needed something else. Oh yes, we want to emphasize the texture paste flowers that we did, so I'm going around with a Stabilo All, hoping that that will help us see them better. It does help a little bit, but the fact that they were done with a paper stencil, and yeah, they're just not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. Most of my stuff is not perfect, but it's... You can see to the right there, those are the flowers I did, above my hand, that I did with the Feather Scan and Cut after I did the texture paste on here, because I really wanted those. So see, there they are. And yeah, it's a lot of detail for a scan and cut machine. So here I have some black and some of that blue again. Gosh, sorry that I don't have the name of that color. And just to give it a little variation, I'm mixing them loosely, so they're not one solid color. There's one, and we'll just paint all the rest of those. Well, those other two. I actually cut out 6, and I'm going to keep 3 white and have 3 blue, and we'll layer them up. So I liked how they looked white, but I felt like everything couldn't be white. That might be an idea for another art project, an all-white art project. Well, there's a little gray, as you can see. I'll think about that one. Alright, so there's those, but I decided there needs to be something else. So I'm taking part of a package that was sent to me and taping it down. So we've got some more brown on there and another leftover strip of fabric. And this one had lots of streams going off. I liked that, so I stuck that down, and now we're going to stick our little flowers on. And I need one of those little fine tip glue bottles, because that sends out way too much glue. So there's a lot of wiping involved. Try not to put too much on. I'm not worried about getting every single thing all the way to the edge. Just want them to stay on. I don't mind that they pop up a little bit. In fact, I kind of curved the top so it would stick out just a little bit. Lays up off of the paper somewhat. Now those are on there. We're going to stick the plain white ones on. Try to be careful with that glue. Okay. Now once I got those stuck on, you know, I stared at this for a while and I'm like, I need something. And maybe those should have been shifted up a little more centered, I don't know. But I decided it needed something else, so now I'm pulling out my glitter glue. It's a Twinkle Writer by Deco Art, and I'm just adding some sparkle to the top of those. Can't see it really well here, but it added a lot to this page. It just like made it so much better just by adding the sparkle. Now there's some people that are anti-glitter, but trust me, in the close-ups you'll see, I think it really helped. And this is where it ends. And see, here's some close-ups. So I hope you liked it. This was a fun project to create. It did take me a lot of thinking to figure out what I wanted to do with this mood board, but I'm really happy with it. I hope you liked it. If you did, please hit like, feel free to share, comment, and if you'd like to see more from me, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.